I think we already blew the cover though.
No, I don't think we did.
You said we're going to do this during the smoke break at the end of the episode.
Wait, what I say?
You said something about we're gonna do this during the smoke break at the end of the episode.
Did I really? For what?
You may have said something along that,
You was like,
but I think it can be cut around.
you was like, something happened.
You said
we're gonna do the smoke break.
You said something about smoke break. I'm like,
What's up, man?
Shit, I'm good, man. How you doing?
Hey, dude, doing good, man. It was a long day. Had the motherfucking exterminator come through.
House problems.
Kept us home 1 to 4, bro. Like, can't you give us a window?
Them like household visit windows be the worst because you just can't plan your day around that shit.
Just sitting at home.
Yeah, I'll be in there anytime between like 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Just like
Dogs on
hang
train.
around, like. Yeah, man. Well, welcome back to another episode of Nina Talks.
Hey.
I'm Akita.
Darius.
We are back again, man. Before we start, we wanted to introduce something new that we're trying with the structure of the podcast here. So we are, we've always done this, but now we're just putting names on it. But we're just kind of going to try to segment things a little better so that, you as our viewers
know what we talking about.
Yeah, know what we're talking about, know what to expect, each little segment. So the first segment we have is always going to be called the Nerd Out.
Yep.
And that's what we're just going to be talking about, our nerdy ass shit. We on stoner nerd shit.
Today's segment, we're going to talk about villains and our favorite anti-heroes.
Yeah. And then the second segment, we call that the Roll Up. Mm-hmm. So that's when we're going to be on our stoner shit,
Talk about weed and brews.
And just random shit. Yeah, today's weed and brews.
Kind of segment into our guests.
Yes, sir. And then the second half, is just the guest portion, and we end with album of the week. So that's just gonna be the new structure of every episode. We out here, Nina Talks, doing it.
Little segment markers. In between.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little time slots and shit, so y'all can skip around if that's your Steve. But yeah, we gonna be talking about some evil ass niggas today, man.
Hell yeah, yeah. So this topic was interesting. I got to researching in the villains, and I started trying to think of like what villains were my favorite types of villains.
Yeah,
because I feel like there's so many different types of villains. Some whose main job is to just destroy the world.
Right.
Some villains are more so. I think an interesting villain is the concept of the weather in so many like world destruction movies. Like just so many weird ass different types of like antagonists and things like that.
That's interesting. I never even thought about like
right?
the weather as a villain.
Being a villain.
That's
like we
crazy.
have a group of people trying to brave the weather and survive and keep humanity going on. That was like 2012 was like.
Yeah, right when we found about global warming, everyone was like, it's scary. You should be afraid of it. Here's a movie about it.
It was a bomb-ass movie too, though.
They did the same thing with like artificial intelligence too.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit. That's real.
And so they always kind of play on people's fears.
So, what character alignment would you say that the weather in those type of movies is? For our viewers, if you're not familiar with character alignments, it's basically like just sort of like
way to categorize.
Yeah, categorize different like types of characters and like how they behave. So there's like lawful good, which means like you gonna always do the right thing type shit. And then there's like lawful evil, which always means you're gonna do the wrong shit. Like, and we'll link you guys to like a broader document so y'all can like read up on it as we talk in case the conversation gets weird.
Yeah,
but
I'll try to explain it too. I think the weather would be a lawful neutral, right?
Right.
Because the weather would follow the laws of nature.
Yeah, it's just doing its thing.
And it'll just do its thing. As a consequence, it may just wash over all of the people, or it may also provide means for people to survive and thrive.
Yeah.
So I think my favorite type of villain are chaotic neutrals. And so the chaotic neutral trope of villain would be, I would categorize like anti-heroes as like chaotic neutral. And so more vigilante type villains. You see it in a lot of DC comics.
Yeah.
But chaotic neutral creatures essentially do whatever they feel like doing.
Yeah, like Catwoman, basically.
Catwoman.
Like, she was like, she wasn't good, she wasn't bad.
She'll rob and she'll also fight somebody. She'll help somebody.
If it just happened to be in her interest at the time.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's my favorite type of villain. I think that coincides with me. You know,
I could do some evil shit if I felt like it. Like, I just haven't got there yet. Like,
maybe as I've gotten a little bit older, I'm more on the neutral good side. I mean, the chaotic like neutral good spectrum.
I feel like you're on like the good.
I'm pushing over there.
Thing. Like,
I feel like in college, I'd be more of a neutral and just kind of do my own thing. But now I'm trying a bit more and more to actively think about.
Yeah.
I like to be independent still. The niggas got jobs, so you can only be so chaotic with a 9 to 5.
That should make you lawful. Obey. Be at the office or else. I'm like a neutral. They have a little test, so I'm like neutral evil, which is funny because I'm like, damn, they said I'm an evil ass nigga. That's fucked up. But basically it just means that, like, you know, I'm still neutral. I'm not like necessarily bad. I'm more self-interested. Mm-hmm. Like, that's how I operate. Like, and like my self-interest isn't necessarily like destructive. It's just my self-interest.
But it also, if it leads to you doing something destructive, it's usually like, oh,
had to do that shit. Like,
I'm sorry.
Like,
my bad.
Do it to him. Like, but nah, I really like. Thinking of like great villains in my mind, I really liked Pain as like a style of villain. Like, one, just because of like the way they laid his character out as like so mysterious and like the whole six body shit. Like, just like his powers were sick. And then like as a character, like Nagato was just like really interesting.
Nagato was really cool.
And like
even the way they drew him.
Yeah, like
he was so being introduced to Pain, he felt so powerful and overwhelming. And then you actually meet Nagato as a character, and he's frail, and he's had a tough ass upbringing. But it's just crazy to see how frail he is.
And he was just literally like following as like a child who grew up in like a war-torn society shit. Like, all you can value is power in that scenario. Yeah. And so for him, it's like, well, if power is the only thing that runs the world, then I'm going to acquire power and use that to like achieve my goal, like kind of no matter the ends, but like the end goal will be like, after this, even if you all lead it to a catastrophe, there will be peace. Like in my mind, with me as like the supreme ruler.
If I can, shit. I have an ideal to make the world right.
Yeah.
And if I can just get strong enough to do it, then I can make the world right.
Like he was like Thanos in a way too. Like if you think about the QB, like the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Collecting the motherfuckers. Like,
you're just trying to gather power so you can just decide what's right.
Right. I think like I was watching this thing about how like Frieza's like just like lawfully evil. Like that nigga just evil for no reason, bro. Like, that shit's hella crazy to me. Like, if you look at that nigga track record, like everything he did, like he sometimes he had no
follows
reason.
The ideals of destruction.
Right. He's just like, if I can kill it, I probably will.
Yeah. Like, why not? I should actually. It's probably frowned upon me to not kill this
thing. Like, they gotta go. Dragon Ball Z was always wild to me because like niggas would just blow up planets.
No remorse.
Yo, evil, you gotta be to blow up a planet, bro. Like, like, bro, like they wouldn't even think about that shit, bro. Like, there's so many people, bro.
Piss me off. I just gotta blow this planet up.
Like, what? Like, sick.
Yeah, the Dragon Ball Z was always the wild power scale. I think of all the villains that we've listed so far, there's that pattern of villains believing. We like villains that want to do something that they believe is right.
Yeah, because they
try really hard, but it's either opposed to by the protagonist or it's just not the right thing to do. Because sometimes it's not so much that the villains like has a wrong idea. It's that our protagonist in the story is
portraying
doesn't want them to do that.
Yeah, that was like almost like Full Metal if you think about like a Scar type character versus
the
Alphonse.
brothers.
Yeah, because it was like he wasn't necessarily evil like this, like, you know, in Full Metal Alchemist, like the state basically ends up being the enemy, right? Like, so it's like, oh, okay, well, like,
but the laws of society put them as enemies, and so they just clash.
And like Scar was basically just from like a persecuted racial group that they had killed, so like to him, like, yeah, these people were the enemy, and like what he was doing to some degree could be justified. Like, these are the people that butchered us. Yeah. And now I'm like strong. I'm gonna kill all of them, and like
even these two brothers right here trying to bring their mama back.
Right, even them, because he got
Sorry, you got the uniform on.
You got the uniform on, bro. like you could drop that shit and we could be cool, but until then, you gotta go, man. Yeah.
Another interesting villain. We talked about this on the last episode. Bishop from Juice.
Chaotic evil, bro. Like
the nigga just kept popping up everywhere.
Bro. I don't know what that nigga was on, bro.
Chaotic evil, huh?
Just being evil, bro.
Like, he just wanted to do things that were self-destructive for everybody. And he just wanted to do them. People would say, why are we doing this? We gonna do this or I'm gonna shoot your ass if we don't do it.
Like, fam, what? Like,
Bishop makes a great villain.
That nigga he was a really well-drawn villain. He played him really well. Too.
He made a great villain.
It was horrifying, bro.
I didn't want to put myself in that situation. I was like, I would be shot in some way, shape, or form. This is just the L.
You just have to pack up and fucking move, bro. Like, I'm out of here. You're crazy. I'm like, we gotta kill this nigga. We're done. It turned into Game of Thrones real quick.
Yeah, bro, I don't know, man. That'd be so hard. You try to dip and nigga just follow.
Somehow he turned up in the elevator with you. What the fuck? Like, nah.
We wanna move on to part 2?
Oh, sure. For our roll up today, we wanted to just talk about what?
I'm just getting ready for this segment.
Oh. That was awkward.
I can hear you.
I felt that shit.
I don't know how to say it.
It's okay.
I was trying
to cut right there and then just like come back.
I was trying to pass you a water, and cause like you look, and I was like, oh, they got a water right here. So I like got you a water. You pick yours, and I was like, oh, that's awkward. Well, I guess I'm just drinking then. Not gonna put it back down.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good. Bro, you both party.
I know. I was like, no.
I looked up. I looked at Keys. I was like, he do need some water probably. I got water over here.
All right, shit. We gonna go into our roll up for the day. So because of our guests, we got to thinking about alcohol and just times we've been drinking, and like, now we mostly just smoke for real. So like, we got to just thinking, we just wanted to talk about, like
college days were hilarious.
Yeah, cause that was the drinking time. So we want to talk about weed versus liquor and or beer.
Weed and brews.
And yeah, man, I feel like for me, for context.
Well, yeah, you gotta tell them about the gravity ball.
Well, shit, I was even before that. I was gonna say, like,
start from the jump.
Yeah, cause I used to drink a lot when I was like in high school.
For sure.
So that's like where I did drink a lot in college still, but like high school, I was like, I felt like I was kind of young, like didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So like niggas was drinking. That's when I used to get like fucked up because you didn't know any better because you were like 16. Like, you
got a bottle of alcohol in front of me.
Yeah, you used to just acquire as much as I can. Yeah, like, but those were times for me where I would just be getting like sick and shit. I was like, damn, this shit, bro. And I wasn't smoking back then either. And so then when I got to college, when I had my own space, that was when I was like, okay, now I can start like smoking consistently. And so the Gravity bong. That was like our freshman year on 420. We went by one of our homies, Ben, we'll say. And yeah, man, I didn't know what that shit was at the time. I'll keep it real with you. Like, it was my first time seeing that shit.
Literally first time. But he gotta explain it to us.
It's basically like, if you don't know, it's like...
I was like, God damn.
Yeah, I was like, damn, this is some real tech shit y'all got going
in my
on
head
over here. Like,
my God.
Shit, using all kinds of science and shit.
So much science.
This is, oh shit, like pressure flows and shit. I'm like, damn.
We was in physics too. I understood it. I was like, this do make sense. Yeah, this is wild. I got to smoke that shit.
That's stoner science, man. That's higher learning. But basically, it's like a water bottle, fill it with ice, put a little hole in the top with like something to hold your weed in, poke a hole in the bottom, and then someone basically lights it and pulls, and that like pushes, it melts the ice, turns into water, pushes it out, and fills this water bottle. It's like a shit ton of smoke. You open the top and you rip that shit, and it's like crazy, man. It's just
huge
hella wild.
At that
like,
point.
So we did that shit, and yo, like
time was skipping, bro. They say we make time move slower. Like, that shit paused for a bit. Like,
yeah, bro.
I don't remember playing video games, but I'm pretty sure I had the sticks.
The next 7 hours of my day were chopped and screwed. Like,
really?
Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like we sat there, we hit that shit, and like, I remember when that shit hit my lungs, like, it felt like...
It was an L. Kyle was able to... One of my homies, Kyle, was able to just, like, take a step back.
Yeah, like...
He was like, I'm going to just take it low.
Because he saw us really take that L, like... And so, like, he was able to be like, this is probably not a good idea. Whereas I stepped into that shit totally blind. And so... Man, that shit felt like a hot knife in my chest, bro.
Yeah, I hit it. It probably took 5 minutes to really get me out of commission.
I was gone instantly.
We were playing Naruto, and I'm pretty sure like Call of Duty or some shit.
Yeah, we tried to play zombies, and I just remember being like,
I don't know what's happening.
I don't have any motor skills right now, so...
Then we ended up in the car.
We're going to lose.
I was like, we back on campus.
Bruh, that's actually... Hitting that gravity bomb is actually the only time in my entire life that smoking weed like made me throw up.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Like, that was, I remember, like, as it was happening, I like was like, oh, like, there's no way what I'm feeling right now is nausea because I ain't drink. I smoked, and then my body was like, nope, you're right. That's run.
Pace yourself.
Yeah, bro. That shit. I was like, all right, I know what my threshold is.
We passed it.
We know what the upper limit is. Like, we never ever have to get here again.
Maybe drop the bottle size at least.
No, I never did that shit again. I was just like, that's just not the way for me.
Let's use the regular bong that don't use gravity.
That's why I don't think I'd ever really like do those like crazy like dabs and shit that niggas be doing. Yeah. Like, because that shit is, I don't know, like I be seeing niggas pass out off that shit. So like, I'm not even trying to like.
And like, I could even like, it's easy to get high without getting out of commission.
Yeah,
like, you can really push it. Like, the gravity bong was probably a lot, just because there's just a lot of shit in your chest at once.
A lot of toxins at once. Like.
But I've definitely taken more L's drinking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, in college, first time being around snow, I have stumbled and slipped and slid and
you used to be busting your ass off down that campus, bruh.
Too many hills. Like, I'm like, I gotta deal with hills. I gotta deal with impaired motor skills. I got snow.
I remember that one day we had like that big ass snowstorm. Like, that's probably like our freshman year or something like that. And like everybody was out in the little fucking area playing, bro. Yo ass is fresh off a new ACL, bro. My man's just
prepared.
My man just got that ACL off Amazon, bro. And he was out there flexing it like he done had it for years, bro. Running around in the snow and shit, having snowball fights like a little kid, bro.
For that.
Bruh. Nigga paid that check to Allstate for that ACL. Out here using it like all willy-nilly and shit.
We drunk hella alcohol though in college. It's something that it's so easy to sneak up on a nigga like.
Yeah, the way Darius used to drink was this man would just fucking like fill up a cup of liquor to just however much he felt like. Usually probably too much. And then he would just
A little
like
bit too much.
pour some vitamin water in that and then just like drink it in like, I don't know, 5 to 7 minutes. And then just wander off somewhere.
That was it. Going
was
into the
it.
abyss.
That was it. That was his version of responsible drinking for like 3 years. Like,
I thought the vitamin water would be perfect. I got like the
man, I was like, I'm getting B vitamins.
B12
like,
and shit, bro. That shit
like,
got potassium in it, bro.
ooh, like I'm drinking and I'm healing my body. Like,
Man, that's
Nope.
what advertising fucking nigga up, bro.
I read somewhere that those actually have like hella sugar. and
Just
they're
hella
not that
sugar,
good.
bro. Hella sugar.
I'm like, damn,
Just drink water.
just vitamins and sugar, huh? Like,
Vitamin sugar water.
that shit hilarious. I remember for me, it's just like alcohol just always sneak up on me. Like it always just like, yeah, like I can never. Well, I can now because I only drink like.
It's had a numerical value, not a feeling. Just
I'm just
3.
like 2 drinks. That's it. Don't matter. 2 drinks and I'm done drinking. Like,
This is fun.
and no matter what, I'll be fine. Like, but back in the day, it's like you just drink and then like somehow, some way you be fucked up. Like, wait, how the fuck did we get here?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on right
I'd
now?
be hella content just like smoking and like limiting myself to 2 drinks.
Yeah. I think for me too, like liquor was just such like a money thing too. Like to consistently buy liquor for me. So it's like, do I want to buy some tree or do I want to buy liquor right now?
Yeah.
Which one is gonna like be more hands-on? 'Cause
More
I don't,
versatile too.
yeah, it's like I can use
Weed
weed
is so much more
anywhere,
versatile, bro.
like-
You can't just whip out
like
whip out a shot anywhere. Like,
yeah, anyone
you
just
go
trying
read
to
a book and take a shot.
shit, some drunk reading, bro. I'm saying we need I'm trying to do like a high history type thing because I feel like that type of thing would be hilarious.
That would be funny as shit. Just some recollection of.
Yeah, because I feel like stories when you're drunk don't be making sense because like you're fucked up. Stories when you high are like hilarious. because
But
you're
just be on
high.
all the tangents.
Well, you know, you use that ebb and flow that makes a story really, really hit.
No, I think that shit would be fire. Like even the Netflix. I love learning about history, like weed and black people and all the related esque things.
Yeah.
It's just I feel like it hasn't really been talked about too much, so it's always really new. And I didn't know that. Like I feel like after a while you feel like you're hearing too much of the same shit. But
Yeah.
I got this like really cool bartending book at a like book fair, like a books. I don't know what the fuck you call it. No book fair,
sale?
probably book sale. Yeah. And probably gonna find a few more interesting ways to start making drinks. You know, maybe try something like a King Palm and I don't know what the fuck yet. I ain't
Shit,
opened the
I
book.
feel like a King Palm high key would go good. Would go with some gin. I was saying this
Hell
before
yeah.
the episode, but I've been on this gin wave. Like I just got hip to this shit.
Hell
like,
yeah. You
shout
gonna
out
do
one
a
of our
will.
patrons. Got us hip to some good gin, and I was like, oh shit, this is a liquor that I could fuck with.
Yeah.
So I've been on my gin wave. We got a bottle of
enjoy Bombay.
the Origin gin. That's
Yeah.
St. Louis. It's a local gin brand. It's
Oh, shit,
fire.
that's tough.
Yeah, that shit's hard, bro. Shit's delicious.
Shit.
Yeah, that and some like Simply Lemonade. That should be busting.
I'm gonna go look in the book and pull out some gin recipes.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's the thing I feel like I'm starting to learn too, is that like, you gotta drink like the same way you would smoke. Like you don't smoke no mid, you can't drink no mid,
It's true. Don't
like
smoke
you
no
get-
mid, can't drink.
Nina talks, nigga. And I feel like that is a perfect segue into our guest.
Yeah.
We could go hit this smoke break. And we'll be back.
Justin
with,
and Ryan from the St. Louis
yes,
Hop
sir.
Shop.
That's y'all. Nina
Peace.
talk.
back from the smoke break. Let's get it.
Yeah, we got our guests, Justin and Ryan from the St. Louis Hop Shop.
Welcome. Thanks for having us, man.
Not a problem,
you,
man.
Thank you guys for
coming.
these wonderful drinks.
Yeah, we got the Pinner Throwback IPA.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Oscar
No.
Blues.
You were saying you could turn this into a bowl.
Yeah, turns into a bowl.
We're gonna
That's
give it a
crazy.
shot.
We're gonna give it a shot after the episode just for kicks. I was saying earlier, that's how I started smoking. Like that was my first, my go-to before I could.
The makeshift go-go
Before you
gadget.
were old enough to go to the smoke shop, yeah. had to cobble that shit together like MacGyver.
Yeah.
Water bottles.
So yeah, I done run a couple apples in my day.
Yeah, that's the healthy smoking.
Yeah.
Good for your lungs. Keep a doctor away.
So yeah, we'll start off. You guys want to just introduce? You guys run the St. Louis Hop Shop, but how did that get started? And tell us a bit about yourselves.
So I'm Justin.
Yeah.
One half St. Louis Hop Shop. We're a craft beer store down on Cherokee Street. It's a shopping district in like South St. Louis. The concept of it just kind of came from honestly, there's a lot of craft beer being brewed in this city, and it wasn't a huge representation as far as like on the retail side. Like you had places that had really good selections of beer, but you didn't have any places that were like 100% like beer centric.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and that honestly, and that's where the concept came from. So really, out of necessity, I wanted somewhere that I could shop. I had to go too far and grab some good beers. So I don't know. I've always been into beer since like college, just trying different stuff,
Yeah.
and then living different places and being able to try the different like beers that were available regionally. It just kind of like just opened up my palate, opened up my eyes to like what beer is and could or can be. So
Yeah.
He actually kind of brought me in. I was always like, drink beer in college as well, but Justin would always just bring like a fire ass 6-pack home, like some Schlafly or like Urban Chestnut. And I'd be like, damn, what is this? But he'd always have like, you know what I'm saying? He'd just be like, yo, check this out. And
It's always dope when you have a friend that bring like some fire beer that you never had before.
Yeah,
I had a
man.
friend like that.
You were the friend for me, bro.
Forward.
I didn't know shit about beer. I just like Darius like I'm at the store. I'm just like, let's get whatever you want. Like,
yeah, man. So yeah, he just used to come through and hang out and just bring different beer to try, and it really just kind of opened my eyes to the different stuff that was out there. And then like he said, we just once we started doing a little more research about craft beer here in St. Louis, it just really gave us just the thought kind of blossomed of creating the first retail bottle shop in St. Louis City, and making it easy and convenient for people in the neighborhood, but also giving people an opportunity to come in and feel a good vibe, meet people, connect. So it's just the concept kind of grew from behind that.
That's awesome.
hard.
Yeah.
And so you guys had this idea. You guys both had this passion for beer. Tell us about just like when y'all decided, all right, boom, we gonna open a store. Like, how was that? What was that process like? Of actually getting the store. Like,
It's funny, man. I think it was like it came 2 times. It really came with like him. He quit his job, and I mean he can tell you a little more about that. But I knew that shit was real when he did that. I was like, yo, I gotta, we did this shit real, man. We gotta make this shit happen. So.
Yeah, so like, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that route to everybody. But like, as I started like kind of flesh the concept out a little bit, and like for everything at first, like Ryan was like in his career already, he was doing this thing, and I knew it needed Ryan, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like I would just always try to have him around for anything. Like if I was going to look at a building, like I would schedule around his work schedule, see what I'm saying? So it was certain things like we had started doing the business plan and like, start filling everything out. Then we did this festival called Oktoberfest.
Oh, dope.
And there's like Soulard Oktoberfest. Yeah. I don't even know if they still do it now.
I don't believe so.
But huge, bro, like huge. When you say like, when you said like jumping into the deep end, bro, like we just like jumped off a cruise ship into the ocean. You know what I'm saying? And
so what did y'all do at Oktoberfest?
So we curated a craft beer section for the entire festival.
Dope.
I don't remember like how many people came to the festival overall, but like it used to it used to shut down kind of like a portion of like
Broadway.
That's tough.
And so yeah, we did it, and I think we had like 100 or something kegs or something like that.
It was crazy. Yeah,
And it was like,
bro.
yeah, we literally like had to figure out everything, like logistically, like everything from start to finish, like renting coolers, how we gonna get the electric, getting the beer, getting the people to work it, getting all the equipment to do it, and we made it out the other side alive. And we was just like,
that's a dark tunnel. So much to do.
Yeah, made it out the other side alive. We was able to pay back all our investors and everything that helped us out doing it. And so we was just like, yo, like, we got something.
Yeah, people was really fucking with the concept. Like everybody that came into the tent was very receptive of what we were trying to do, and they didn't have craft beer. You know, there at first it was only typically German beers or like macro beers. So when people found out that there was a craft beer tent there, like the lines never died down. Like every time we look up, it's just lines and lines of people. And me and Justin was just like, yo, man, this is our opportunity to go out there and talk to people and give them, you know what I'm saying, kind of like a piece of our vision. Going out there and just, hey, yo, you opening up a craft beer store in St. Louis, and people were super excited, man. So that really gave us the confidence to keep pushing forward with the idea. You know
That's awesome.
So, just, do you want to pull your mic in just a little bit for me? Yeah, thank you. Make sure we game, spin game, we gotta catch it all, you know what I mean?
So, what separates a craft beer from just like any other selection of beer that you'd get?
Has to do well with how much is made in a year. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a definition. What I really care about is just like craftsmanship. It's a level of craftsmanship that goes into anything quality. Yeah. And I feel like that's what we like to kind of use as like the base standard at the Hop Shop as far as I don't even want to say like what we consider craft beer,
that's
but
real. It's more so just
what we consider like what we are willing to carry. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome.
I didn't know shit about beer for real. Like I used to drink just like Heineken and shit until I started hanging around this nigga. Like he like, I think we went somewhere and you like helped me like go through like the fucking like menu. Like this is what this tastes like. This was that one. That was
yeah.
Like, I didn't know shit about none of that.
Yeah, I had a good friend in college who was a beer fanatic, and you know, getting to college, I didn't even really drink or anything. So beer, I hadn't acclimated to it yet. But after the first few beers of just kicking it, hanging around, and also, I feel like once you drink beer through an entire seasonal rotation, you also understand what the seasonal beer is kind of kicking for. Sure. So once you hit that year of beer maturity, then you understand the landscape a bit better. Yeah. But St. Louis does have a lot of different bars, breweries, and its own selection of beer. So how much did you guys like start off sourcing in St. Louis versus where else do you guys source beers from?
We did most of our, you know what I'm saying, sourcing here in locally. One thing that we made an effort with before we opened the store was just making a connection with each brewery. So we was like on some just guerrilla, you know what I'm saying?
Roll up in there like,
we just rolling up, talking to breweries.
Pop-up meetings.
Pop-up meetings with like, you know
straight
what I'm saying, head people who own breweries, and they was like, who the fuck are these guys?
Yeah.
But we came in there, man, we was just keeping it straight. We told them exactly what we were trying to do.
I like you.
What the concept.
Maybe not like that.
Everybody was, you know, we'd always ask, like, you know, what do you think that the St. Louis Hop Shop could do for the craft beer community here in St. Louis? And I said it was always good, you know, positive feedback. And then as far as like, you know, Justin and I being in a position where we are, you know what I'm saying, you know, young black men, you know what I'm saying, I think if that also showed just a sense of like, you know, they really have something different they can offer as far as like diversity and even bringing in new demographic into like the craft beer community. That's always been like something that we wanted to make an impact on as well. So yeah, man, it just really just us kind of getting the confidence down to go in here and talk to these people head on and just be straight up and tell them like, yo, this is happening. So like, what, like, are you down? And everybody was down with it, man. So yeah,
I feel like shit like a part of the game. So you want out, like.
I do feel like there's a lot of culture that is tied to the drinking of beer too, and that's something that black people, I don't know, I didn't think black people drink to like
beer for real. That's
not like
I think it's an exposure
beer.
thing.
Like we drink
it's definitely about exposure.
It's an exposure thing.
People's concept of beer, even myself before he like really kind of got me into beer was just the basic, the Bud Light, the Coors Light, the Miller Light.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just And it's nothing wrong with those beers. Like I still enjoy those beers when I'm, you know what I'm saying, out and about. Those are the affordable beers that everybody can relate to, but it's so many different beers out there that so many people that, you know what I'm saying, don't even know about half the stuff that's out there. They I'm sure that many people like beer, they just haven't had the right one like it.
Yeah. We've literally had people like try stuff at the store and be like, that's not beer.
I mean,
but it is.
We go into the store every time and you're like, oh, Summer, what you trying to get? I got a couple beers for you. And even that kind of understanding of the inventory too, I feel like is a big barrier to, because you can't start off and just pick a random beer. That's not a good move. There's a path to understanding what your beer tastes are like and your preferences and all that.
For sure. Yeah, we try and make that, you know what I'm saying? We ask those questions when people come in. Like, you know, Justin does a great job of asking, like, what do you like, you know what I'm saying? Or what do you not like, you know what I'm saying? And we can kind of from there kind of navigate and help people connect with something that we think that they, you know, would like. And I'm be honest, like most times people come back like, yo, you was spot on, like where's that at again? You know what I'm saying? Something in that same ballpark, and they kind of can go from there, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's what's up. And how long would y'all say did it take y'all to kind of develop that, like, I guess those like soft skills? Like were y'all always kind of like natural like salesmen, for lack of better words, or was that like a skill y'all had to kind of like polish as y'all grew? Or
for me it's a bit different. Like I've always worked in retail and I've kind of legit like worked with the general public like in a transactional sense probably since I was like 9 or 10 years old.
For sure.
So like I've always had to figure out how to talk to people, what people want out of it and like what we need out of it, and just trying to help. And then, you know, like as I got other retail jobs and things like that, like, you know, just like with anything, the more you do it, the kind of the better you get at it. And then it was just for us as a unit, like at the store, we just kind of built that into the philosophy at the store. Like we are way more like interaction versus like transaction. Like we want people to feel good. We don't want people to just like feel like they came in and
bought some shit and
spent a ton of money and rolled out. Like no, like we really want to have a connection with people, and I feel like as quiet as it kept, like that pays dividends because you have people that you make genuine connections with. It's not just like a sale.
I guess one of them.
I had a question. Do you guys, is beer kind of the end goal for you, or do you guys have dreams of what's next? You know, I'm curious to see like what else you guys are interested in doing.
We got tons of ideas, man. Just being entrepreneurs and just being exposed to so many different ideas and concepts and meeting so many different people, it has given us just a new vision on, you know what I'm saying? We just celebrated 4 years this past weekend.
Yeah,
turn up.
And so it's, you know, from where we've come and where we are now, man, we really still aren't even close to what our peak is. So of course we have ideas of, you know what I'm saying, really, really locking down the store that we're in now. We, you know, I think one of the exciting parts of basically building a business is like the initial steps of looking for the next venture. So, you know what I'm saying, looking for new locations, making those relationships with new property owners, you know what I'm saying, getting out here and really doing the hard work as far as finding out what the next step would be to take the idea to, you know what I'm saying, beyond that. Because, you know, we have complete confidence, man, in like how we've grown organically. Like this concept is much, much bigger than, I mean, as big as we want to make it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've always had ideas of, you know what I'm saying, opening a second location and spreading the
expanding it more than one, you know?
Yeah, man. So
building an organization almost.
Yeah. So like now we got part-time employees and just helping them develop and just giving them just the tools to be successful, man. It's really shown us, you know, just the concept of what we're working in and being in a small business, giving people opportunity to explore entrepreneurship from just being aside by us, man. It's been dope. So yeah, man, just continue to grow forward. And
I mean, I kind of just like piggyback off of that, like taking this idea to the absolute max of where we, like, when we would just like dream on like the super, super grandiose scale. Like, I want to see that come to fruition. And then I know, like, just like me personally, like, I've always wanted my career to be just a collection of my life's works, like just the different things that I was into or like was able to do. And so being at this point in my life, like where we did just hit 4 years, and like all of the information that we've learned and experience that we've acquired, you know, I'm just looking forward to like, you know, like where we are in the next 4 years, like both with the Hop Shop and like both like what we're just like personally, like what we're doing and what we got going on. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm excited. Like, I don't know exactly what that is. But like
it, though.
10 years ago, I didn't know I wanted to open up a beer store.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm
how'd
saying?
y'all celebrate 4 years?
We got lit, man.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, we had a good time.
I know Hop Shop got to do it big. You know?
We just, you know, invited people. We typically have like, you know, people come through, and we did a bottle share this time. So typically we do like tastings in the past, but this year we decided to just do a bottle share. So we cracked in, you know, we went down into the cellar. We got a cellar in the basement.
To the cellar.
The secret reserve.
It's been out here for 4 years, agent.
Yeah,
Beer hasn't seen sunlight.
We actually cracked a beer that we got like the first year that we was open.
That's hard.
That shit, it's called Goose Island Rare, and that shit, that shit actually goes for like, you can probably purchase that online for
Couple
$200.
Damn.
But it was worth it, man.
It is.
Classic
Crack
shit.
it open. Yeah, man. So we just, you know what I'm saying, have food, people come in and get the opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, just thank them, and they thanking us, just to continue to push forward what we're doing and just surround ourselves with love, man. That was the good thing about it, man. So yeah.
Beautiful.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna segue to our little, you know, the title of the episode is Weed and Brews, but we talked about weed or brews. Before this, we talked about kind of like, you know, which one we prefer more, with like weed or alcohol, and like some of the L's we've taken on both. So we had like a few kind of either or questions that we wanted to run through with y'all real quick. So the first one, obviously, is weed or brews.
Man, that depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I'm stick with Brews. I go with Brews right now.
Branding.
Yeah.
The Hop Shop for Brews.
Can't be Hop Shop. Can't say anything else.
Can't trust the chef that don't cook, huh?
No, right. You gotta tell me how that tastes. Right. What? You ain't
That shit
tried?
tatted on his arm. He can't say anything else, man.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna go beer or wine.
I go beer.
I go beer. I have been getting into wine lately though.
Yeah.
Like heavy. Like I always used to just do red wines, and I've been getting into like some whites and like some just different. It's some fire out there.
Y'all think y'all would ever get to selling wine at the shop, or y'all sticking strictly beer?
No. So we've actually already started to incorporate
okay.
wine into the store, and
Y'all have a lot of spirits there too.
yeah. So we. Like now that, especially now that we like now we in the bigger spot. Like those are avenues that we've always wanted to do. We just ain't had the proper space to merchandise everything right when we was in the old store. So like now we in our spot. Like we starting to incorporate that into the shop for sure.
Digging into the portfolio. You see a lot of stuff out there.
Crazy amount of stuff out there.
Yeah, we got a lot of reps love to come by and get us drunk midday. Like a whole bag.
Try this.
Yeah. You guys got time to taste some things?
Sure do.
Like 6 things out of the bag. Like, damn, bro, I thought you had like 2 wines. You got liquor, you got gin, whiskey, bourbon.
I didn't have to
A shot of each.
Right. On the third shot, I'm like, bro, like I still got to stock some stuff. I
don't remember what the last
is.
is.
2 o'clock.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Oh, man, we hate Android, bro. I ain't gonna do it like that. 'Cause some people still rock with Androids, but we like blue bubbles, man.
Blue bubbles over
There's
here,
green
man.
bubbles. Somebody be in a text message, I be hitting my homies and then be like, why is this not blue? Who got it?
Or the worst when you're in a group text and it be like, Jason laughed at like, come on, bro, get an iPhone, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna fake it, man. Our cameraman, the guys over there got the green text, man.
Hey, they work just fine. Both of them. Okay.
I'm part of the cult, but you know, I try to support my Android fans when I
he was an
can.
Androider for a long time.
I'm part of the cult now. The environment affects you, you know.
Hey, man. I told you, me and Darius got closer when he got those blue bubbles. Neither would have existed with the green bubbles, man. I would have been able to text this man no business plans.
Shit just get lost.
I don't even know if this shit's secure.
Could've laughed at the latest shit. Like, damn, bro. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
I used to be Xbox hard, man. I used to be like Xbox 360, Xbox, like the original Xbox.
Yeah.
But like when I dove into PS4, man, PS4, you know, my brother used to be like always talking about this dolphin's coming out from PlayStation. I was like, bro,
the dolphin.
I don't know what you're talking about. I guess he's talking about the PS4, but like the graphics and the processing on it, it's just way faster, man. So yeah, I'm rocking with PlayStation now, but
That's what I've been hearing.
it's
PS4.
like Microsoft.
For me.
I had the original PlayStation. That shit was
With Tekken.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All the crash shit, man. I was PlayStation
Spyro.
Nintendo for most of my upbringing.
Yeah.
Got hopped on Xbox with my cousin.
Did you have GameCube?
Nah. So didn't have a GameCube. I started with all the Nintendo handheld systems. So like got the original like color. Then I got the Advanced. Then I got the SP. Then I got the DS. And it got stolen. And that was the end of my little Nintendo streak for a bit.
Yeah.
It's funny, like him, him, and the brother in between us was on GameCube hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
The GameCube had the
Super
fucking
Smash
four
Brothers.
controllers on
For
that
sure.
shit, bro. That's the
GameCube was
ultimate
that
party.
shit. When
Yeah, bro.
GameCube dropped, like,
Oh, bro.
4 controllers easy.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, Smash Bros. And what was it? Was it Call of Duty? Was that an old Call of Duty?
Old Call of Duty. Like, yeah.
yeah, they had like modern Call of Duty like 1 on GameCube or something.
Yeah,
man.
World War II.
The tiny disc for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
This shit was hard as hell.
That shit was hard though.
Shit get scratched up, you gotta get some alcohol and some,
Yo,
trying to wipe it down.
Little thing would never, the little
Right.
just sit there.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Nintendo always won out in the households that had like multiple kids.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're probably in the living room playing video games anyway, so the people gonna be around. Nintendo always had them nice family-friendly formats.
Four.
PlayStation was for the loners. Two slots.
Right?
Now you can buy an attachment and you can get it's like they're trying to get
Playing
you for that extra
Grand Theft Auto on that.
Yeah, man.
Never was allowed to play that.
Nah,
We had Grand Theft Auto
Yeah, I
on
was
the
never allowed
computer.
to play it.
Yeah.
You remember the Grand Theft Auto on the computer from like the overhead view?
Yeah, man. Yeah, played
Nah,
the PC
man.
version.
Never played
Nah,
PC
man, my parents
GTA.
were very hard against
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto, man. That shit did not see the
I
light
think-
of day in my household.
I think we had it before they even knew what it was.
Yeah.
Like we just downloaded some demo.
That's
Yeah,
back when we was listening to Play a Fly and fucking.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, man. That was like.
I ain't gonna peep when this PC GTA came out. That was the
I'm not even
GTA
here.
1, man.
Yeah, man.
First GTA came out, my dad was like, never.
And Robin still in
Not at all. Oh, you could kill hookers? Absolutely not. Go kill these aliens.
Yeah.
Like, bruh, not at all. Superman or Batman?
Superman.
I go Batman. I rock with Batman.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
Batman.
in terms, I just be hating on Superman.
He be doing hellas.
He just be doing too much, bro. Like, why your eyes burning?
Right.
Why you got laser vision? Don't can't nobody kill you anyway.
Yeah, man. Man, I like both of them though, but Batman just a fucking OG, and he a billionaire. So like,
Yeah.
he's a human first, and then he just whoop ass when he want to.
When he want to.
He be having all the bad women.
He probably whoop
Nice
you up on
cars.
Madden too. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Superman can't play Madden.
Nah.
Crush control and
Right.
shit.
Right.
Fucking, I'm mad. Be human.
Goku or Vegeta?
Question, because I rock both of them. I'm gonna say Vegeta. It's because it's, you know, he got to a level where motherfuckers was not stopping Vegeta, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody had to
that's
level
true.
up to get to where Vegeta was
That's fact.
at. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Even Goku was like, yo, I gotta, what the?
Vegeta touched down and he was like, I'm that shit.
Yeah,
Vegeta touched down and he was.
People forget Vegeta came in with the shit. That's facts.
yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't hard on the.
Oh, you wasn't
Dragon
into
Ball
the
Z.
anime, for
Yeah, I had to go Goku. That's what I knew. That's
It's
what
okay.
It'd be like that.
Goku got a son, he a dad and shit, you know what I'm saying? He a good person, you know what I'm saying?
The trash dad though, honestly.
He is, he never would have said
That ain't why I picked him.
No,
I seen him smash. I seen him smash some folks out. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know his parenting skills.
I didn't care about all that.
I
Yeah.
did not condone that message. And then the last one we're gonna do is Captain America or Iron Man.
Iron Man off the rip.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Iron Man.
Iron Man for sure.
I want to be Iron Man. I really
Yeah. When we both came into college, we came into college engineering.
They be setting
mechanical
niggas up to
engineering,
fail,
yeah.
bruh.
And like So niggas thought this was like Iron Man came out with like 2010, something like that.
Yeah.
And so like, you know,
It was,
we
like,
saw
right
that shit,
before.
right, you know, when we applying to college and they was like, he's the world's greatest mechanical engineer. We like, oh, I'm about to go to college, make me an Iron Man suit. We gonna be out here. Come to find out, shit is not that easy.
You need a couple more degrees. Like,
Really difficult. I
couple
was
more
like,
degrees.
I cannot keep this major. I gotta go.
They were like, do you want to take thermodynamics? I was like, no.
That was like, who now?
No, I don't.
No, I do not.
I was like, you want to take fluid? Nah, don't want to take that one either. No. You're just checking all these off the list, huh? I need that too.
That's all shit that he had to actually like
study
to make
His
the shit
cooling
that he makes,
system
man.
do use fluids. That class, I don't want to take that one though.
Yeah.
Well, Herman was
Shit sound
realizing
boring.
this nigga was a genius at every kind of engineering.
Everyone.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
so it was like y'all sold this shit all wrong, bro. This is false advertising. I want my money back.
That's when I learned that settling doesn't make you a lesser person.
Right.
Some things I
You
don't
can't always shoot for the stars. You know?
Can't be Iron Man.
I'm
but I could probably
gonna
get
just
his
land in
coffee.
these clouds over here.
I'm gonna watch the movie again.
Look at how he built that arm. He's so smart. Shit.
Finish it off with album of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have we end our segment off usually. Each of us pick an album, doesn't have to be new, but just pick an album that you think the audience should listen to.
You know, I'm on a Tyler Creator.
Hey, Igor. Oh,
Yeah.
That's
really
really hard,
good.
man.
Igor's tough.
Even from the beginning, like when it first came on, I was like, this is different. Like, and then like second song, I was like, damn, who is these? Like, who is this? I was
Yeah,
like, I
he
like,
gets you,
this
like-
can't be Tyler the Creator. And then like the third song is like when it opened up, it got like kind of like that NERD feel. I was like, I had to read like what the hell this album was about, and it was like how it was an ode to Pharrell. And I fuck with Pharrell hard.
Yeah.
I've been
Tyler been on
Ice
that
Cream,
wave,
skateboard.
yeah.
I used to listen to all that shit, like his mixtapes back in the day when he used to be spitting bars.
Yo.
I'm saying, I was like, okay,
You
I
can definitely
fuck
hear a
with
lot of like Pharrell in that album. Too,
So
for
much,
sure.
bro. So many people are like, oh, what's he on? Like, I don't get this shit. I'm like, this shit is all skateboard, bro. Like, this shit is all fucking Neptune's NERD inspired, bro.
Yeah,
like,
man. The music is there. The sound is there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
He
dope.
hella talented. He's in a lot of all things too. He scored or like did the soundtrack for this most recent Grinch movie, which was really interesting. 'Cause it's a similar alt, like, you know how people keep saying that he's not rapping anymore. He stopped doing that a while ago.
Yeah, he literally Flower Boy.
He stopped doing that a while ago.
It is what it is. When he first came out, I was listening to Tyler Perry. I was like, yo, this guy sounds like
He's hard, bro.
Yeah,
He's hard to like
scared.
get
His
into.
voice, why does it sound like this?
He was too intense for me when he first came out. I
The
couldn't
goblin and all that.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, he hard.
Even
man.
Wolf was intense.
A
Like,
lot of negative energy over there.
A lot. It's murder, death. It's not Eminem. Like,
Right.
I enjoyed his like overall gang out future, and so I always listened to more Tyler than I kind of wanted to, just because I fucked with like Earl Sweatshirt and Frank and all of them, so Tyler was always in that circle. I'm like, man, you're eating cockroaches.
yeah.
Bro.
I ain't never even seen that. That's crazy.
That's kind of how he like intro. At least that's where my first on
Yeah.
the Goblin album. What song was it?
Yonkers.
Yonkers.
He
The
eats
end
the
of it.
roach.
There's
He
like a
really did
silhouette
that
of
shit.
him
He really
dropping
did
the
that
roach
shit.
in his
It wasn't
mouth. I
even
can believe it.
like a fake
That's
roach.
just a
He-
video.
That was him
Actually
saying,
ate
I'm
that
about this
roach.
shit for this music, guys.
I was like, that nigga
Yonkers,
shit
wow.
going in.
What you got?
Honestly, my album ain't necessarily that new. I've been listening to, I've been cycling back through Arctic Monkeys' last album, bro.
Not hip.
It's called Tranquility, hotel-based casino.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not
Arctic
him.
Monkeys?
Nah.
Not
bro.
hip. Not
Bro,
hip.
Arctic Monkeys. Who did that sound? Arctic Monkeys. That Pusha.
No, that was that's the opening. That's the opening of the Nipsey album.
Yeah.
Okay.
He sampled them for like some off their last album, but like, I mean, you've definitely heard some Arctic Monkeys before,
Okay.
for sure. You may
Probably
not
did.
like pay
You
attention
probably
to what,
done,
but I don't know. They just popped up on my title a couple months ago and listened to the album. It may have been a year ago now, but
I'm gonna run it.
album's fire.
What was the name of the album again?
Tranquility Base.
Yeah. This is while we're on the topic. Like, he put me on the Arctic Monkeys, and he also put me on to Arctic Monkeys and the
What's it?
It's something we've been listening to a lot of. It's kind of like the Tame Impala. Y'all listen to Tame Impala?
yeah.
I'm hip to Tame Impala. I don't listen to everything, but I'm
Tame
hip.
Impala,
I'm
Oh
hip.
man,
Yeah.
Tame Impala.
They be,
That shit.
they got that
fire,
vibe music.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's kind of
vibey.
yeah.
I'm about to throw that on for the smoke break type shit.
Yeah.
What about y'all? Yeah.
I'm gonna run with Waves by Mick Jenkins.
Nice.
Throwback.
Nice.
But his whole, I fuck with Mick Jenkins and the whole water analogy that he did in the first 2 albums. That was really dope. My man has a real poetic flow, lyricism on 10. I can just put the album on repeat and just play through it.
Shit.
Yeah. This one's only like 9 songs, so it's really short. P's and Q's was tough. Your Love, and then The Giver. So those are some really like fire songs on there. But I listen to hella Mick Jenkins. He just got a dope ass flow.
He had a hard voice.
He do.
So just like bassy.
It just bellows over any jazz beat sample that he throw on, man.
Yeah, Mick hard. Mine is gonna be T Grizzly Scripture.
Oh,
Really?
Oh,
It just came out like last week.
for sure.
And like, I don't know, I feel like T Grizzly not really in like the everyday rap conversation since like that first kind of like hit he came out with. But like the nigga could rap and like
He got bars.
yeah, he got some bars and just like the album overall, like it just like sounds good. He just rapping like he hit a bunch of different like cadences and shit. Like the production's hard. A dude from STL, Chop Squad DJ actually did a lot of the production.
Oh,
that's
dope.
how I like tagged.
I started following him on Instagram
Chop Squad
randomly maybe
DJ?
like 3 months ago. He out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Chop Squad. Like he like I was like I wasn't familiar with him. I don't
doing
even know
his
how
thing.
he came across but you know what I'm saying? I just like started following him. I was like, okay, bro.
Yeah,
I see. He's
that's
like
exactly
doing
like I follow him on Instagram. He always be like, he's locked in with like T Grizzly, and I'm like, I didn't know T Grizzly was working like that, but let's get hip. Like, it's hard. Like they be going in. So it's a really dope album. It's like 12 songs or something, like medium length, like just all like different kinds of hard, like and just on some like gangster shit. So you feel like you want to kick in the door or something like that.
Yeah, kick a door every once
We're
in a
not
while.
about that. You know,
No kicking no doors.
I just listen. I'm like,
So you gotta kick a door once every 3 months.
Home Depot, like,
I kick the door into
fucking
my
door in, bro. I gotta fix this shit, bro.
kick the door into my 9 to 5. We in the bitch.
Like, I ain't paying you for no weed this month, bro.
Right? Give me my check, bitch. Like my direct deposit.
Well, want to say thank you guys for popping out.
Yeah,
This
man.
was great. Enjoyed talking to you all.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, for sure.
Another fire episode.
Yeah, man. I fuck with it. Love what y'all doing, man. Keep it up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
And don't forget, follow us on Patreon. Thank you to all of our patrons.
Yes, sir.
And have a good night.
Yo, like and subscribe on YouTube. You know that button right down there. Yo,
Peace.
Nina Talk.
Hey, keys.